JDev is back at it, here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 11 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, I was able to watch this episode a week early on AMC+. Plus. If you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll say as well as put in the description for you if that happens to be the case. If you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further, just to stay away from any potential spoilers. Before my review, real quick, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and like Walking Dead content, please smash that like button. Sound off in the comment section about your score of this episode, your thoughts on the episode, your standout character, or anything Walking Dead related. And I really want to grow this channel, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and please be a part of something special. This will be The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode number 3. Title of this episode is called Hunted. This will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start off right after we left off in the last episode with the Reapers attacking our group members. It's really dark and it was hard to see, but Cole gets his throat slit, and I'm guessing he's dead, although Negan's got his throat slit before and survived, but I'm pretty sure that Cole's a goner, which surprises me, because Cole was in the bonus episodes, I thought Cole would be a long-standing character, at least for the final season of The Walking Dead, but nope, more than likely, he's probably dead. Duncan also gets hit with what I think were a bunch of arrows, 3 of them. Negan also gets hit with something in the leg. Gabriel gets something cut on him and stabbed in like the quadricep. And Alden is also injured very badly. So all of our group people are getting hurt. And then Maggie is like lassoed by something, it appears. And Elijah comes over to help Maggie because they were like pulling her away. And then Elijah's lassoed or whatever it was and then pulled away. So we don't know what happened to Elijah. And then Maggie has one of the Reaper weapons and knows the Reaper's behind her and like throws it, but it just misses the Reaper and hits the tree. And then we see the kids, Judith, RJ, Gracie, and Herschel, playing Slapjack, I think. And Herschel's talking about their moms, how his mom always comes back after she goes on a run. And Judith doesn't really answer things, says Michonne. We don't know if Michonne's coming back. But I'm pretty sure Michonne will come back for the final season. It might not be a long time period. It might just be a scene at the end of the series. But I think Michonne will come back. And then we see Maggie is off on her own. She's heading towards some place far away. It's in the next day, actually, so she's traveled quite a bit. And everything seems to be good, and all of a sudden one of the Reaper weapons comes flying at her and just misses her. So Maggie's in trouble again. And then she runs into Alden as he is seriously injured as he's found Maggie and was quickly attacked once Maggie saw him. But Negan shows up right away and helps them out, kills the Reaper. We thought kills the Reaper, but the Reaper actually leaves after that. But there's a trail of blood. And it's decided by Negan that he's going to work together with Maggie, which is always a good thing. We have Rosita, Kelly, Carol, and Magna. They're trying to round up the horses that have escaped Alexandria. And they don't have a successful time the first time as the horses get spooked and run off. And as they're walking away, Rosita tells something interesting to Carol. She says that she's having dreams about Abraham. That would be awesome, and I'm pretty sure this will happen now that Michael Cutlass will return to The Walking Dead in this season, just for, maybe even hallucination scenes. I know they play the hallucination angle a lot, but it's nice to see former characters of The Walking Dead that were some of our favorite characters of The Walking Dead. And by God, they better have Glenn be in a Maggie hallucination scene this year. I know Steven Yeun's really busy, but that's something that has to happen, in my opinion, if they're going to bring back all these other characters for hallucination scenes. And so we have Negan, Maggie, and Alden. They hear somebody screaming, and Maggie wants to go investigate it. Negan's like, oh, we're going to go right to where the screaming is. And it turns out it's Agatha, and she's killing some walkers. So Maggie meets up with Agatha, and then Agatha lets Maggie know that she has Duncan with him, or with her. Duncan is actually seriously injured from what happened in early events of the episode, and is just sitting against something, and Maggie goes over and talks to him, and then Duncan dies while he's talking to Maggie. So Maggie stabs him in the head to put him down so he doesn't turn into Walker. So that's sad. I actually like Duncan's character. I thought he added something. He was a standout character for all these new characters. So they'll bring all these new characters in and kill them off right away just to give us a big body count when it's nobody really important. But I did like Duncan. And I was surprised, though, that Cole died. Well, we assume Cole died. He was in the bonus episode, and I thought he'd be around at least till the end of the season. But it is what it is. Or the end of the series, I guess, more so now. And then whatever happens, let's see here. We have a Reaper following Gabriel. So Gabriel gets off the trail and kind of sits behind somewhere. And then he starts to follow that Reaper because Gabriel sees him walk past him. And then eventually Gabriel does catch up with this Reaper. And the Reaper's like, well, you can say something nice for me because you're a man of God. And then Gabriel says, God isn't here, or God doesn't, I can't remember what exactly he said. Something about God isn't here, or God doesn't exist, or in this world, or something like that. And then Gabriel just kills the Reaper right away. I thought Gabriel would talk to him more and try to learn some more information about these people, but evidently not. We have Agatha, Maggie, Negan, and Alden walking through the woods. Eventually, at some point, Agatha gets caught by a walker and bit on the arm, which we saw in the trailer. And then Maggie wants to save Agatha, and by this point a bunch of other walkers have gotten right behind her and they start to grab her, and then Negan comes from off to the side and grabs Maggie and pull her away, which is another thing that we saw in the Comic-Con trailer. And then we see that they did indeed finally get the horses back to Alexandria. Kelly, Magna, Carol, and Rosita. And Carol puts down a horse, has it lay on the ground, and then kill it so they can use the horse for food. And then they feed various members of Alexandria with the horse. We see Herschel eating the horse. We see Judith not really liking it. I think Judith's vegan or something like that in this Walker apocalypse, because they don't say zombie on The Walking Dead. So that's interesting. So they're killing horses for food because there's that much of a shortage for food. Hopefully they'll get food very fast here. And then the last thing of the episode is that Maggie, Negan, and Alden find a church, and they go in the church to kind of use that for shelter for a short time. But they need to get back on the road. They need to get back, and Alden even says, I'm going to slow you guys down. Just go. And Negan eventually says, you know what needs to be done. And Maggie's like, well, you don't get to choose who lives or dies anymore, which I thought was a very powerful line. So eventually Maggie gives Alden some food, goes over to Negan and puts her hand out, and Negan gives Maggie a knife, which she gives to Alden. Like a knife's really going to help. He needs a gun. And then they decide to leave. As they're leaving, they put a church bench on one side of the door, and then as they shut the door or they leave and go out the church, Alden tries to move one of the other benches in the way, so at least blocks the doors, or it kind of blocks the doors. But if somebody wants to get in, they'll get in. So we don't know what happens with Alden at the moment. He's very seriously injured. Now, this episode was actually spoiled for me. This is the first episode of season 11 that I knew what was going to happen. Although it said in the episode, spoilers, that Alden dies. He clearly does not die in this episode yet. He may die, but I'm going to go on record saying that Alden will survive and will end up with Maggie at some point in this season. I don't know if he'll make it the whole season, but I think him and Maggie have to end up together at some point. It just seems the only reason why they put him in the show. It was kind of weird how they paired him up with Enid, though. Just a weird relationship. Because Lauren Cohan left the show, so they had to give Alden something to do. I get it. And then the episode ends when Negan and Maggie are leaving the church. Negan goes up to a walker that's approaching and just clobbers it with the crowbar. And as he's done with that, he's holding the crowbar down, and it's like dripping blood. And Maggie must have some sort of like vision of when Negan killed Glenn and Abraham, as she kind of stares at it for like 10 seconds. And then she just kind of moves forward and walks past Negan. So Maggie and Negan are together by themselves. That should make for compelling television. In my opinion, the Maggie and Negan stuff is the most interesting thing in The Walking Dead that they can do. If they did 24 episodes on just Maggie and Negan's conflict of them trying to coexist, I would be glued to the television set. No Daryl? Fine, I don't need Daryl. All we need is Maggie and Negan. They are the stars of the show. I mean, some people don't like Maggie, and I understand that she's annoying at some points, but I really like the build-up of everything that's happened between them two. I really enjoy that. But it was a very interesting episode. Now, of course, we don't know what's up with Alden, if he's going to survive or not. I think he will, just because they didn't show him die in this episode, but he might die right away in the next episode when they find him. If that's no... Actually, the next episode might just be Daryl focused, spoiler alert. So, we don't know what's going to happen with that, but maybe the next episode after that, they'll go to find Alden, but who knows. But Elijah, we're not sure what happens to Elijah. As a matter of fact, they said in the spoilers that Elijah met back up with him. So it was somewhat of false spoilers. Interesting. So I'm sure Elijah made it, though. His character, there's too much mystery behind his character for him to get killed off right away. But then again, there's a lot of mystery with Cole's character, and it seems that he's a goner unless they got some medical personnel that can stitch him back up for that. So I liked the episode. It was a really good episode. The lighting was a little dark at the beginning, but it's supposed to create the fear and the tension. I gotta say, I'm gonna go on record saying that the Reapers, they might be the best villains in The Walking Dead. I know that's a very bold statement, but the Whisperers, all they did was talk, and be scary. The Saviors, yeah, they weren't the same as they were in the comic book. The Governor was alright, but they tried to make him, like, humanize him a little bit, and then make him a villain too at the same time. The Terminus people, yeah, they didn't give them enough time. They could have been good, but they kind of wrote them off really quick. The cops at the Grady Memorial that Beth had to deal with, they're not the best. But all in all, Shane was one of the best villains in The Walking Dead. If you want to talk about villains, I love Shane. But anyway, back to the episode. As far as the score of this episode, I'm going to give it another 9.5. That's 3 9.5s already this season. I want to give it a 10, but I just feel like there's too many unanswered questions and there was something missing. As far as the character of the episode, well, Negan pops in my head again, but you know what? I'm going to give it to Maggie this time because Maggie was very important, and I can't remember if I gave Negan the character of the episode of both episodes so far this season. I think maybe I gave the last one to Maggie too, but Maggie is definitely a focal point so far. It's kind of nice. Like, I kind of like Daryl as a background character because, truth be told, Daryl annoys the shit out of me, but it is what it is. So I think I've done enough rambling now for one review video. Back to what I want to do. I definitely want to grow this channel. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this Walking Dead content, smash that like button. If you know anybody, and I mean anybody that would be interested in this, please share the video with them. Sound off in the comments section about your thoughts on the episode, your score, your favorite moments, your favorite kill. Do you think Heath's another story. Do you think Elijah's alright? What's going to happen with Alden? And of course, last but certainly not least, definitely want to grow this channel. Don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.